Welcome to Night Rips, and time for 6 more packs from 1995 Top Stadium Club Series 2. Now we've already pulled 2 of our box hits. There's really 2 more supposedly. I'm going to take 6 packs just to show you how I do this. I'm just going to take these 6 packs right here. The first time I took 3 packs and 3 packs, and both of them had box hits. And then the next rip, which I took the 6 from the bottom, got nothing. So what I wanted to do is pull just 1 stack because there's still 2 more box hits. There is still that phone card at 3 minutes of free long distance. Kind of funny, but yes, okay. It is a box hit. And then there is a hobby box only thing called a Super Skills card. I have yet to see one. So curious if these 6 packs are going to have at least one of the 2, because what that will tell me is really it looks like each stack had a hit of some sort. Just something curious to see how it gets laid out. Not that it matters, because this has been 27 years. Yeah, 27 years ago. Not like a lot of this is still out there, but just out of curiosity, because I still do have 1 complete box here. So I am going to zoom in because we have our 6 packs here. We are really trying to collect the base, but we're going to go ahead and rip these, see what we can find. But before I do, as always, invite you to join the channel. Hit that subscribe button below and hit the notify bell. Let's go ahead and get to pack number 1. Now, I do take my time at these because I do love this whole set. The reason why I'm trying to collect all base sets of Stadium Club is I do appreciate the photography here, trying to put you in the game. That's why they really minimized anything on the front except the picture itself, and the fact that it's a border to border picture. So let's see if we pull anything. Now, one thing I have noticed is that the foil, there's 2 colors of foil that I found, and I have found no explanation of why. So it may just be some were loaded with silver, some were loaded with gold. I'm going to call it a day. Of course, this is not stuff that was very quality controlled. Nice Tim Salmon card there. The pre-trout fish. It was not super quality controlled. And they were still, they were not, this being 95, this is outside of the junk wax era. This is actually the post-strike era. Cover story of the White Sox. Who is that? Since that is it's a subset, part of the base set, but I don't have this one, and that would be Wilson Alvarez, pitcher for the White Sox. So there's 2 cover stories with the White Sox. Obviously, it's that one and Tim Raines. And we got a best seat in the house, and I recognize that guy, the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas. There at Kaminsky Park. And, of course, he's a first baseman, but it talks about that was the seat. Supposedly, this was at... Yeah, I don't think so. That looks like it was taken with being in the dugout, but let them call it what they want to call it. And we got ourselves another cover story. And this is awesome because cover stories is part of the base set. And if you're going to collect the base set, you got to get them all. This would be with the Florida Marlins. This is prior to them calling Miami Marlins. Chuck Carr. Very neat. Of course, they were one of the expansion teams in '93. It's one of the Stadium Club membership forms. All the members' choice cards that you could have to buy. And we got a virtual reality of Cecil Fielder. Great slugger there with the Tigers. What was his home run? Let's see. He had 40 home runs. If extrapolated, he should have hit 55 if 1994 would have been a full season. Of course, he was a team leader of home runs, RBIs, and total bases. And usually if you're a home run hitter, you're usually the RBI and base leader too. Delino DeShields, and end it with what we all want, the checklist card. All right, pack number 2. It's funny that how Topps, whenever they're making Stadium Club, you know, the 90s, especially starting in the early 90s, was known as the insert mania. There was not a lot of inserts. There's a lot of subsets. There's Vaughn. There's showing off his guns. Oh, he's a big man. Yeah, it was all subsets. I mean, there was a little bit, you know, obviously the ringleaders, the clear-cut finest. There was a few insert sets, but they were very small, and there was only a few. Bit Roberts, Kevin Stalker. It's funny how Topps was always almost behind every time they did anything. I mean, Stadium Club came out because Upper Deck was doing this kind of thing. They had these nice, almost full image on the front. They did add a little bit of border and a little bit of accoutrement, if you want to call it, on the front. Actually, let me show you this. This is actually, I mentioned this before. I've probably mentioned it many times, but there is a difference. And if you notice the difference, it is the same card. But, you know, this one obviously saying virtual reality, this one not. But if you look at the back now, the virtual reality is this one. The backs are totally different, at least from the stat block. Because with the regular card, you know, it gives basically what happened through the season. With virtual reality, it extrapolated. So it is different. And of course, here's the other thing that's different. They're numbered different. Because the virtual reality cards themselves was a set of their own. They were not a subset like, you know, and they're not an insert. Yeah, we got the same cover story. So it's just interesting they did it that way. Jason Jacob. As a matter of fact, speaking of it being a set on its own, they even had their own checklist that was not part of the base set. So it was these, and of course this was a different kind of checklist too. So interesting how they did it. There's Brian McRae, his virtual reality. The Big Hurt, and John Olerud. All right, we got 4 more packs. Let's see any magic here. Tell you the one thing I don't want to find is that redemption card for a ring, because that honestly would just be sad. I mean, it'd make me laugh a little bit, but it's sad because how many times have I pulled redemptions that were expired? And while I have gotten lucky with one of them, I don't know if Topps would do the same with this one, because these are really old products. It's not like it's off by like a year or two. Saying, oh, we got a product that's 27 years, that expired 26 years ago. Bobby Witt Jr.'s dad, Bobby Witt. Bobby Muniz. That's a very interesting look. Of course, Jeff Montgomery. Here's the fun thing. You look, he is a pitcher. He's actually a relief pitcher. And one of the reasons why you'd see him like this is common award for relief pitchers is the Fireman Award. So I'm guessing that's why they staged that like that. Kind of funny. Again, they wanted to get you into the middle of the game a lot more so than any of the other products. And it's honestly why I love it so much. Dwayne Hosey, and then we got another cover story, and it's another Marlins cover story. And that, you cannot tell me he's not standing on a ladder, because that is as staged of a look as I've ever seen. And who would it be? Jeff Conine. Interesting. There's Paul Shuey. We got our membership, you know, buy the membership cards. And then we have Marquise Grissom, virtual reality, which is cool because Marquise Grissom is, you know, became a Brave, and he comes and talks at Brave Stadium all the time. There's Mark Grace. And we'll end it with Jose Valentine. Again, another stage. And you can tell the difference between a staged card and a non-staged card. Mark Grace is in the game. Jose Valentine, not so much. You can tell just a different look, not looking at the camera, breaking the fourth wall. Okay, 3 packs to go, so we're halfway done with this rip. Doesn't look like we got anything in this one, unless it's a Super Skills, which I don't know, since I've never pulled one. I've pulled where it says there should have been one, and never found it. There's Harold Baines there with the Orioles. Ellis Burks, Marquise Grissom, once again, and you're going to find a lot of these repeats simply because it's only 225 card in this Series 2. The big set was Series 1. The smallest set is the high number because they could not call it Series 3 for whatever reason. I don't know. And I think it's the only time they ever did it that way. I'd have to go back and look. Reggie Jefferson, from it there, I thought it said Jackson. I'm like, that's not right. A little bit different type of player there. There's one of the Bash brothers, post-Bash brothers. Canseco. Of course, we got Craig Vaughn. Craig Vaughn's another good one. And we got another cover story, and it's another one we already have. This one would be Wilson Alvarez. And one of these days I'll memorize these cards. I don't know. Our virtual reality checklist, which means our virtual reality card, which would be Alan Trammell. Saw him growing up since I actually lived near spring training for the Tigers. There's Mark Portugal and Greg Gagne. All right, 2 packs. Will we find anything in this stack, or will everything be in that last stack? Who knows? Okay. And it doesn't look like we got anything jumping out at me here. But if anything jumped out at me, I'd end up dropping the cards and running away. I don't know. Not expecting something to jump out of these cards. It would be honestly kind of scary. I'm just actually amazed at how good these cards are. I mean, the corners are crisp, and they're not sticking. The only one that really stuck at all was the Paul O'Neill card. And probably because it's a clear cut, it is a different kind of material. It kind of clings to the glossy finish a little bit more, but only a little bit. Not even enough to write home about. I mean, I've seen much, much worse. Oh. And then I talk about it, and I have 2 cards decide to stick. But barely even hear me pull them apart, which tells me that's great because that means no damage. We got best seat in the house. I'm trying to think who that might be. Is that Will Clark? No, it's Matt Williams, third baseman. They're at Candlestick. Never got a chance to go to Candlestick. I actually have not got to go to Oracle Park yet either. It's on the opposite coast, and just haven't made that trip. I mean, I've been to San Francisco many times, just never watch a ball game. It's our club membership card, and for our virtual reality, this time we got Harold Baines. Definitely another slugger. There's Brian Hunter and Willie Green. Some of these we're seeing, so we're definitely getting to the dupes area. I haven't collated cards yet to find out where we are, so who knows. Last pack, and I'm not seeing anything jumping out since I've opened up and pulled the phone card before. So it is a smaller card, so it kind of stands out, and just not seeing it. Unless instead of that membership card or the virtual reality checklist, it's there. But I didn't think that was where it is located. But I don't know about Series 2. I've never opened it before. Definitely seeing repeats. And I can now see that is a Stadium Club membership card. Hard sell to buy more cards. Oh, that's an interesting one. Jamie Navarro. They're on a Brewers motorcycle. That's cool. And we got ourselves a cover story for the Minnesota Twins. Looks like a picture. And it is. It's Rick. Let me turn it over so you can read it. Rick Aguilera. Pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. Huh. Definitely a closer there. Since it's talking about Eckersley, it's talking about Lee Smith. All great closers. Cecil Fielder. Kevin Seltzer. Again, I mentioned that club membership card. And right after it would be a virtual reality, this time for Robin Ventura. There's Terry Steinbach. And we'll end it with Bo Bichette's dad, Dante. Great player there for the Rockies. Didn't make the Hall with him, though. All right. So definitely this was a base rip. And we found none of the box hits on this one, which tells me that the next one is going to be where our phone card is. Hopefully our super skills, because, again, I've never seen one. So I'm honestly really curious what it looks like. We did pull some of the subsets, though. We definitely pulled a couple of best seats in the house of Matt Williams, yep, and the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas. Of course, those are inserts, or not inserts, they are subsets, so they're part of the base, just like these are cover stories, and we pulled a bunch of them. Well, we pulled 7 of them. I'm not even going to mention because there's too many to name. We also pulled, and this is supposedly a guarantee in every pack. We did pull our 6 virtual reality cards, including Marquise Grissom and Cecil Fielder. The only reason I call that out is because the first time I've ever opened 95 Stadium Club, that would have been Series 1, we only got like 1 out of every 3 packs, so we were behind from day 1. From that point on, we've been lucky, so that does make me happy. But the real thing that makes me happy is we got a ton of base. And since I am working on trying to finish that 225 card series, this right here is why we open. So I hope you enjoyed it. Wasn't the big bomb of a hit, but again, it's making progress, which is always a good thing. If you definitely like looking at these old cards, definitely come join the journey by hitting that subscribe button below and hitting the notify bell. Also, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And leave any comments in the comment section below. I enjoy all of y'all coming on this journey with me, knowing that I'm not alone and not crazy, because this is a ton of cards at the end. I will tell you that this is over 8,300 cards if you want to collect from 1991 to 2021 base Stadium Club. 2022 will come out one day, and that's just going to, extend the journey even farther. Definitely like to have you come join that part also. So, until the next time, bye now.